granting you control over the territory. And we can see that lately the viability of killer bees has only been growing now that they've expanded their territory outside of Africa. Which brings me to my main point. Are humans overpowered? Well, just like the Africanized honeybee, humans really only became OP once they escaped the African server and invaded other areas. Notice how humans took down megafauna across every terrestrial server except Africa. The African tank mains have the matchup experience and counterplay options to deal with the vast array of skills humans have access to. But the rest of the community was totally unprepared to deal with the rapid invasion of new human mains invading their competitive scene. In other words, the devs could have prevented the massive destabilization of the current meta if they'd region-locked humans. Staying competitive in the meta requires a good player constantly be leveling up their skills. There's no better example of this than the rapid rise to dominance that humans experienced. If you'd like to level up your own skills and unlock new ones, I highly—
Dude, this is a brilliant show, dude. I love this. The optimal team comp.
You're right here. I've been sent this more times than I can count. And since my sub count has been spiking lately, I have no issues being a crowd pleaser. So here it is, Tierzoo's guide to winning the most famous battle puzzle of 2018. The puzzle goes that you—
Politics is a faction system? No, there's like guilds, dude. You got guilds, you got the different servers, you got like the 7 different servers, and then you have guilds within servers that fucking absolutely dominate. And there's this piece of shit fucking guild called the America Guild that literally dominates both the Latin American server, like the South American server, which is a cross section of the original America server, and even like pretty much every other server with the exception of the European server. Like, it's really messed up. It is so fucking OP. They are, and by the way, they have really bad manners. Like, they're literally fucking spawn camping. Okay, they absolutely are spawn camping. They go in and they literally just fucking break infrastructure. They break your base. They don't even make use of it. They just break your base and leave it behind. Completely broken. They are massive griefers. They love griefing. It is so fucked up. Half the time when they're griefing, they're obviously doing it because they want your mats or they want your resources. But in other circumstances, sometimes they just grief just to fucking grief. American server has crossplay with other servers, but not the other way around. Yeah, it's really fucked. Their offline rating, absolutely, dude. And you kind of can't get away from them. Now, of course, there's a separate guild that's on the up and up right now, obviously. And I'm not talking about fucking bullshit ass fucking the Russia Guild. Okay, the Russia Guild is bullshit. They talk a big game, but they're a fraction of the size. Now, the Russia build clearly is making a lot of leeway in the MENA servers. Okay, they've definitely started working in the North African server, like the African server, but the northern component of it, and also some parts of Asia as well, which they happen to preside over. So they're tiny. Their influence overall is minuscule. Nothing compares to the American Guild, obviously. But there is one other fucking player-based guild out there in the Asia server that has really come out of the gates swinging in the past couple of decades, and that is, of course, the Chinese Guild. Very powerful. Has been around for a very long time, by the way. Like, OP, one of the oldest fucking guilds in the game. You never really factor in longevity because, like, the most dominant guild in all of the servers is still the America Guild, right? And that's a relatively new one. But, like, China is, kind of like the OG fucking guild, one of the first guilds ever created. And they really use that ancient knowledge to their advantage when they're dominating, when they're doing territorial expansion. Really good lore too. Yeah, really solid lore. Really solid lore. Early on, big technology drivers like OG, some of the first technology drivers out there. They know when the meta changes. Yeah, they adapt well. Why can't you talk about politics like this so the gaming frogs can participate? Yeah. Maybe using the same abbreviation for two different concepts isn't the best look, lol. What? Tier zoo, but human time? No. I feared that talking about tier zoo for humans is like would get into like a little bit of race realism or something. You know what I mean? Even if you're just joking, people could take it seriously. That's literally what like I was thinking about that while I was talking about like different human specs. And I was like, that's literally what race realists do. Brazil server is the no rule zone. Yeah, no one talks about the Brazilian guild, dude. Listen, the South American server is already like pretty fucking it's pretty chaotic as a consequence of what I just said. The American guild doing territorial expansion and like constantly fucking shit up. But if there's one that is like uniquely chaotic as far as guilds go in that region, in that server, it's the Brazilian one. Absolute madness. They resemble the characteristics of the Turkish guild as well. Over the top bravado, extreme bouts of patriotism for no fucking reason whatsoever when there's virtually nothing to be patriotic about in terms of your guild. Okay, just like the Turks. Like guild wise, they're pretty much they're like sister guilds. You know what I mean? They absolutely operate in a similar capacity. Surprisingly large economies that they participate in, just like the Turkish guild and the Brazilian guild. Like you would not expect it, but very large economies, but not necessarily a lot of political impact. Also, both of these guilds have recently gone through restructuring, where the leadership had internal strife, and the new leadership of either of these guilds is not good at all. Both of them have really authoritarian leanings, so not looking too good for the guild members so far.
You can choose two groups of animals from the options on this list. Real quick, that's a choice between 50 golden eagles, 10 saltwater crocodiles, 3 brown bears, 7 bull cattle, 1 human, 15 gray wolves, 10,000 rats, 5 lowland gorillas, and 4 African lions. To start, let's take a look at the stats of each contender in the fight. So eagles easily have the highest mobility out of all the options here, as they're the only option with the ability to fly. With mid to high damage and intelligence,
The Nordic guilds are such normies. Dude, straight up. God, I can talk about this for hours. The Nordic guilds used to be one of the most dominant fucking guild. They literally, they had clans where they would do clan raids, okay? On the Anglo-Saxon region, on the fucking English, basically. And their territorial expansion was massive. It was really good, but unfortunately the Saxons put up way too hard of a fight, and ultimately they just kind of keep to themselves nowadays. They're very chill, very cool. They don't really do too much. Hold on, I'm gonna subscribe to him. Very good.
coupled with the second highest group size on the list, they're looking pretty viable. Next we have the saltwater crocodile.
Yeah, the UK guild used to be what basically the fucking US guild mapped their success over, but the UK guild is probably the greatest story of failure. Like the colony lead that they had was tremendous, and now they are reduced to a fucking island the size of a nugget with no discernible natural resources. It's not good. Their main, yeah, they had a huge their charisma nerf was absolutely done to themselves, okay, through a spec that the aristocracy engaged in called inbreeding. Okay, not good. I mean, 13 colony lead is pretty hard to fucking blow, and yet the UK guild literally did that. Not good. Had massive guild drama, broke up into a lot of successful guilds today. Yeah, they had a lot of internal They had a lot of internal strife. I mean, they grew too much. That's what happens. The Spanish guild nearly killed themselves in the 1930s. Oh, Jesus. Isn't the banker class OP with the capitalism expansion pack? True. It is pretty fucking solid. Yeah, you've had some crazy fucking guilds throughout time where like they blow up and you know they really fucking beef up the tech expansion and with respect to where they were like when other guilds were really developing, like you have the USSR guild that hyper focused on expansion, and it was short lived in the grand scheme of things, but they did a lot, and part of the reason why Russia is still seen as like a serious adversary is a consequence of like what the guild used to look like. The Dutch guild went from sailing ships to grow flowers to smoking them.
It's got the highest power stat of any animal on this list, and could easily one-shot anything it can get its jaws on, but it also has the lowest mobility of any option here, at least on land anyway. Next up we have the bear. None of its stats are the highest of their respective category, but combined they do easily have the highest base stat total, but they also have the second lowest group size of all the options. Next we have the bulls. Bulls have the highest HP and defense of any option on this list, and their power and mobility stats are nothing to scoff at either. Next we have the human. The human has the highest intelligence stat of any of the options on this list, allowing it to use equipment. In the photo it appears to be armed with a rifle, meaning that it's the only option with a ranged attack. While normally a human's base power stat is pretty weak, with a rifle it jumps up to tie with the crocodile, which can one-shot any of the other contenders. Next up we've got the wolves. Excellent mobility plus decent intelligence and power, but low defense and HP. Notably also has the third highest group size. Next up we have the rats. The lowest base stat total by far, but also the highest group size, beating the next highest by 3 orders of magnitude. Next we've got the gorillas, very comparable to bears.
Wait, if it's one human versus 1,000 rats, like, that's OP. Rats win, dude. What the fuck? Yeah, what are you going to do? You don't have enough, unless he, like, literally is cheating and the devs gave him unlimited ammunition. I doubt the human's going to be able to fucking... 10,000 rats will fucking own the human. All these other fucking teams would destroy.
Except with slightly lower stats and a slightly larger group size.
Yeah.
Last we have the lions.
The plague,
very high damage output.
The plague passive is OP. Like it literally, you might not be able to win in the short term, but like long term, the plague passive destroys you. And it doesn't even have any, like, the human barely, if they haven't beefed up their intelligence skills, like, they're probably, like, you know, if they're conservative or something, they don't even believe in that shit, so they immediately die. They're, like, uniquely vulnerable. It's really fucked up.
Plus the highest stealth of all the options available. Pretty low group size, but a powerful contender nonetheless. Alright, so now I'm going to rank them on the tier list as whether or not I see them as good choices.
Pick 2 of the options to fight against the other 7?
Keep in mind, this is specifically ranking them as to how useful they'd be defending you in this situation, as well as how important it is that they aren't part of the opposition.
This is so stupid, I love it.
The bottom tier picks are going to be the gorillas and the bulls.
Also, it's top of the hour every hour, and I gotta go pee real quick as well, but I'm gonna run an ad right now. And then I think the AOC stream is gonna start soon as well, so we'll in a little bit, so we're gonna tune into that. I'm unfortunately not a part of it, of course, but I will be watching from afar. Like you, the viewer, I will also be watching from afar, from the other side of the window going, oh, why am I not here? Why am I not allowed? Just kidding. Anyway, but here's the ad. If you want to avoid the ads, you know what to do. All you need to do is subscribe. You can do it for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. Ladies and gentlemen, by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, you can get 1 free Prime subscription. Here's the ad. Here's the video.
Gorillas are strong,
I'm gonna go pee
but
real
every
quick.
other option that has strength as its main factor is actually stronger. Gorillas are not going to win in a one-on-one fight with bears, bulls, or crocodiles. They could potentially hold their own against lions, if they are able to see them coming before it's too late. But lions are stealthy, and I highly doubt they'd have trouble ambushing gorillas. But more importantly, gorillas don't really offer any unique advantages on defense. Strong as they are, defending against an armada of other animals requires strategy, and 5 gorillas just don't seem that useful for that. The cattle have a similar problem. Honestly, the cattle's biggest strength is that it's an unstoppable solid wall of mass. It would be really useful for breaching a defensive wall. If we were to flip the script and say choose 2 and send them on a mission to eliminate the VIP, cattle would be a lot higher on the tier list. In D tier, I'm placing the bear. Honestly, if this list only had one of everything, I think I'd pick the bear. It's the best jack of all trades option, but the low group size is really holding it back. In C tier, I'm going to place all of the builds which would be better or worse depending on the environment the battle takes place in. If there's cover to hide in, like bushes or tall grass, lions would be a huge threat. They could potentially take out larger threats before they even have a chance to reach the VP, and crocodiles could do the same. If I were allowed to choose the starting locations for everything in this situation, I would choose an island. Then all of the aggressors would be forced to swim to me, leaving them hilariously wide open to be insta-killed by crocodiles. But if the situation is a level playing field, like a simple wide open grassland, neither of these builds really have much of a purpose. In B tier, I'm placing the pack of wolves. Wolves and dogs are excellent at crowd control and could reasonably be tasked with diverting charging animals away from the VIP. While they do have low HP, they could easily dodge attacks from the other builds on the list, except for maybe the lion, but I think their numbers would be enough to deter them. Wolves are also much more trainable than the other options on this list. So I'm not exactly sure how much control over the other animals is expected, but if it's contingent on their ability to understand commands, wolves are definitely standouts in that regard. Okay, so in A tier, I'm gonna do something a bit controversial and actually place the human here. The human is alone and armed only with a bolt-action rifle, meaning defending against multiple targets is extremely difficult. It would almost certainly lose if put in a fight with any of the other options on this list. But it's more important to note that the human does not need to win against any of the other animals. All it needs to do is land a clean shot on the VIP, which it can feasibly do from nearly a kilometer away. And so if the VIP does not choose the human as one of its defenders, they need a way to deal with them. Initially I thought that was impossible and was going to place them at top tier. But after thinking it through further, the human actually does have some hard counters. That's why I think the top tier choices are going to be the ones that can deal with the sniper effectively while also serving other purposes. And the best option for this is the eagles. The eagles could circle the battlefield looking for the sniper, and due to their excellent eyesight, they could almost certainly see him before he sees the VIP. Then they could easily go for the eyes and make it so the sniper can't aim accurately, effectively making him a total non-threat. They could then easily harass the rest of the attacking.
Bro, this dude puts so much effort into this. It's crazy. AOC stream is not like actually fucking live, dude. What do you want me to do? I'll tune into it when they're like literally live. Also, I'm assuming a bunch of my moderators are also moderating that as well. But
Army, attempting to blind them and make them unable to complete their mission.
New whale
Obviously,
class?
the top choice is the rats. If you don't pick this as one of your two, you're gonna get overrun immediately. Choosing the rats and eagles.
Bro, new whale just dropped. Why did Why did NPR tweet like this? Is this a joke? Am I going crazy? What the fuck?
Means you have over 200 rats to pit against every other combatant, which is more than enough to win the fight. Strong as bears are, 200 rats will still be able to take them down, especially if they've had their vision damaged by eagles. So there you have it, rats and eagles is the correct choice. You can all stop sending me this meme on Twitter now. But picking the right options is difficult without a guide who knows their stuff. This is true for animal deathmatch puzzles, but is also true when it comes to knowing which stocks to invest in. This is why I highly recommend the class Investing 101, which is taught by my friend.
Oh no. Her stream still says Among Us? Yes, they'll change it, chat. They'll change it. But yeah. Hold on. No mods? Don't make me fucking nuke you guys, dude. Don't make me do it. It is nuts how many people fucking tune in when AOC goes live. It is still remarkable to me. Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck? Probably 100 duck-sized horses. The horse-sized duck will fuck you up, dude. The reason why horse is such a powerful enemy to contend with is because of how large it is. Like that there's a lot of fucking kick power. Primate tier list? Okay.
Teeth. Claws. Speed. Power. Long ago, ancient reptiles ruled the meta.
No, someone made an interesting point. No one cares when she goes on Instagram live, but it's big news when she goes on live on Twitch. Because everybody goes live on Instagram, but Twitch requires like literal preparation and a show. That's why. You can just like pull your phone out and go live on Instagram. No one really gives a shit. But Twitch is like a gamer platform, you know what I mean? Tier Zoo is progressive, but not an active in politics. They supported Bernie. Damn, why do you know that? Dude, the craziest part is with the human tools, we don't even need our entire population to nuke the planet, just like a few hundred. Yeah, that's true.
And terror. No off-meta builds could even stand a chance in this expansion. No class had ever held the top spot for as long a time as the dinosaurs did, but at the height of their dominance, they were nerfed. For a while, this created a huge power vacuum, but once the jank strats fell by the wayside, it became clear what the new best guild was. Today,
I can't believe my number one simp is like a Nintendo guy. Because I shit on Nintendo so much. All right, I gotta dial back my shitting on Nintendo.
Talk about the build that changed the world. Now, the primate tier list is weird. Most tier lists I've done resemble a bell curve. But for primates, it's actually the opposite. There is no average primate, none in C or B tier. Instead, all of them are clustered in the bottom tiers and the top tiers. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so primates are divided into two guilds, the prosimians and the simians. The prosimian guild includes lemurs, tarsiers, aye-ayes, bush babies, and lorises. While you might think of primates as being really intelligent animals, prosimians are actually quite average compared to other mammals, and don't have any unique intelligence-based abilities. No specialized social behavior, no tool use, no outsmarting opponents or setting traps. No, these builds generally focus on fundamentals like foraging and climbing. The one special perk they have is superb night vision, but there's a reason they had to spec into that. Most nocturnal builds choose those types of abilities because they either like hunting under cover of darkness, or they prefer to avoid being active during the hottest parts of the day. But prosimians aren't either of those things, so why are they all nocturnal? The reason is because they get completely bodied by the other primate guild, the simians. They're completely unable to compete with them, and have essentially been forced into the nocturnal playstyle. This is highlighted by the fact that in the Madagascar server, where there are no simian primates, all the prosimian players drop their nocturnal perks in favor of better base stats. So by now you probably guessed correctly that this division is the reason for the bimodality on the tier list. Prosimians are all low tier, the lowest being builds like the aye-aye, which wasted most of its evolution points speccing into a long, thin claw which they use to drill into wood similar to a woodpecker. This fragile weapon isn't much good on defense, and since it obviously doesn't have the mobility a woodpecker does, it can't really do much against those predators once the drilling sound gives its location away. The highest prosimian has to be ring-tailed lemurs, because they actually do have a decent social structure and reasonably high intelligence, and also aren't completely locked into the arboreal zone like other lemurs. Still, they have yet to unlock tool use and have almost zero offensive capabilities or defensive moves other than simply fleeing. So they have a long ways to go before they break out of D tier.
Yo, these are lame as fuck. I want to see the fucking super predators, dude. I want to see the apex.
Let's move on to the more relevant group, simians. Characterized by their high base stats, complex social structure, and extreme versatility, simians are the best generalists in the entire game. But this comes at a cost. High base stats, especially intelligence, require a lot of food to maintain. And so while these builds are definitely some of the best in the game, they're also some of the most difficult. Making the most of their kit is essential to securing the best loot. You simply can't settle for common or uncommon drops. You have to be constantly pursuing epic and legendary sources of sustenance. In addition, their low stealth across the board means you have to remain vigilant at all times and always be prepared to ward off more aggressive players. So let's talk about where each simian build falls and how to maximize their effectiveness. So at the bottom of simians we have monkeys, which are also divided into two groups, Old World and New World. These two groups play on different servers and are also rather different from each other. New World monkeys easily have Old World monkeys beat when it comes to mobility, due to their special ability, Prehensile Tail. This gives them much higher arboreal mobility and makes reaching loot such as eggs and fruit very easy. Spider monkeys are the best example of this, and are the best New World monkey build. However, what they gain in mobility, they've clearly sacrificed from their other stats, having lower intelligence and much lower power. Couple this with the fact that the jungles of Central and South America have some of the fiercest competition imaginable, and it's undeniable that Old World monkeys are in a much better spot in the meta. They don't have the Prehensile Tail ability, but this is because they're much more versatile. Unlike New World monkeys, which rarely ever come down from the treetops, Old World monkeys are well suited both for climbing and for running on the ground. Since they don't need to worry about whether or not trees can support their weight, ditching this restriction also allows them to bulk up, leading to some genuinely beefy builds, such as the baboon. The best Old World monkey is the mandrill, which combines power and intimidation with aesthetics for a truly threatening fighter. Monkeys are a great build, but to really take primate gameplay to the next level, apes are the answer. For the sake of time, I'm going to skip over lesser apes, because to be honest, gibbons and siamangs are about the same as monkeys in viability. I rate them the same as I rate baboons. What I want to talk about are the great apes. Great apes are the pinnacle of versatility, combined with high intelligence, mobility, and power. The first great ape on the tier list is the orangutan. Again, all apes are good, but obviously one of them had to be the lowest. And while orangutans are strong, they aren't the strongest. They're mobile, but not the fastest. And they're smart, but not the smartest. They're also the least social of all apes, and therefore are the most vulnerable to surprise attacks from players who use stealth, such as snakes and leopards. Perks include opposable thumbs, tool use, and nest building. I see them as a great beginner class since they're great for learning the basics of primate gameplay before getting into more advanced techniques. Next up is the chimpanzee. Chimps are the fastest of the apes, being extremely quick on the ground and in the trees. While they have the means to access high-level loot spawns like canopy fruit or bird eggs, they're also excellent pack hunters. You all know I always have to praise pack hunting, although in this case it's not quite as impressive, since mostly they use teamwork to grief weaker and more mobile players as opposed to taking on bosses as a group. Second from the top is the gorilla, the primate with the highest power, defense, and HP. With their high-level social structure and insanely high base strength, there's really nothing that can pose any sort of challenge to them as long as they remain with their party. That is, except for our #1 highest rated build of all time. There's no question humans are by far the most successful class ever seen in the game. I've gotten a fair number of YouTube comments, Reddit posts, and Twitter DMs saying something like, I don't know if humans are really all that OP. Listen, not only are you wrong, but you've also got to be in denial if you think there's any builds more effective than humans out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, first of all, the opposable thumb pattern recognition perks are so fucking huge because in the long run, especially late game like we're in right now, like early game humans used to get fucking owned, especially with like the larger mammals, as he already talked about before. But like late game humans is such a valuable investment because once you're in the late game, that build has the pattern recognition, teaching skills, like it literally beefs up int. Your intelligence stats are through the fucking roof, and it destroys everything. It destroys the competition. Like your tool making, tool building, tool using skills are all through the fucking roof. Like there's literally nothing that you can touch. Late game, question mark? Like I'm saying that all the servers are in late game, right? Now, of course, there is one other species that's going to be more OP than that, and that is the cockroach. But you know, that's like late. That's end game, and it doesn't really matter at that point.
Obviously, we have to talk about their intelligence stat. It's the highest in the game by a huge margin. and this allows them to build equipment which raises their other stats, except HP, to near maximum as well. Gorillas are 10 times stronger than them until they equip one of their signature weapons. Cheetahs are more mobile than them until they equip a mount. Armadillos have higher defense until they craft their own armor. The bases they create for their clans are unparalleled, and their social structure is second only to eusocial insects. But the thing is, humans are so overpowered that you could take all of this away, and they'd still have an argument for number 1. Nerf the human's intelligence stat so that it's in line with other high intelligence builds, like dogs, elephants, and other apes, and you're still left with all of their other broken abilities that they have. There are a lot of them, but I'll quickly go over the top 3. Humans have ridiculous stamina regeneration. While outclassed in sheer speed by a good portion of other builds, humans regenerate their stamina so fast that speed becomes almost totally irrelevant on defense. The best ground-based mobility builds in the game, such as horses, dogs, antelope, and cheetahs, can easily outrun humans, but sooner or later, a human will always catch up to them. Humans can use the fling projectile skill better than any other build, while other primates, as well as a few others, can pick up items and throw them. Humans can do so further, harder, and more accurately than all others. Lastly, humans allied themselves with specific bacterial support classes, which provide them with a unique power-up, bonus experience. Humans get more XP from loot they consume than other players because of this, and this helps them level up faster and supports their high intelligence and food cost. Those 3 abilities combined would make any other mid to high tier build top tier in a heartbeat. Max intelligence or not. Thank you all for watching, and as always, if you got a suggestion for a build, aspect of the meta, or other topic you'd like to see covered on this channel, be sure to leave a comment. As I close in on a quarter...
Thumbs are pretty crazy. Like, thumbs are pretty wild in the grand scheme of things. Like, when you think about all these other animals, like, well, but low-level humans are garbage to only shit and sleep? What? It's pretty wild. Man like Microwave, can he do this with races? See, this is what I mean. Like, no, motherfucker. No. Immediately, like, that goes into race realism, brother. By low-level humans, they mean billionaires. Humans are bitches, that is all. The only time humans, with all of their technological achievements, have ever been able to get owned by fucking nature in the late game period that we're currently in on all servers was the Australian Guild server, which occupies nearly the entire server, too. It's like a fucking main... It's literally the main guild on the main server, and they got fucking dumpstered by emus. And that's pretty much it. That's the last time that the human character was owned by animals so completely. You know what I mean? Now, obviously, as you all know, there is a virus that the bat character has been spreading. The bat pangolin character has been spreading that went over across the guilds and across the servers. But Australia, the Australian Guild server, obviously figured out that, you know, you can't really conquer nature all that great. So they're really crushing the fucking bat pangolin virus that infected literally every single server. Whereas the US Guild, which normally dumpsters every other fucking server and every other faction, is getting obliterated by the bat pangolin server virus. It's kind of crazy. American server lost the bats. Literally, NA throw. NA throw, comparable. If this continues, I would say NA throw is comparable to like the UK 13 colony lead. Mosquitoes kind of meta in Africa. Bats, OP in Asian server. Emus, kings in Australia server. Is this how we're going to describe politics going forward? Yes. I love it. I am absolutely a gigantic fucking fan of this. I mean, I've done like gaming style descriptions before, but never this much about, you know, different servers and different builds and shit like that. And I really like it. Depression debuff is also massive currently on every server. Yeah. When is AOC gonna start, bro? What the fuck? I want to know what this is going to be like. I wonder if it's going to be sleeper or if it's going to be actually kind of interesting. I want to know if it's going to actually make headlines in a similar way this time. It probably will. I wonder if it'll break records. Like, these are the things that I'm interested from a streamer POV. I'm also personally, as a leftist, interested in it to see, like, what kind of questions she's going to raise against billionaire Andy, who is definitely clouded the fuck up, but also, while being clouded the fuck up, is still has some very interesting takes on education policy and also taxes. He's a bit of a she's going to break your record without starting. First of all, my record is 231,000, but of course she's going to break my record. It's fucking AOC. So we'll see. The way of talking like a video game helps me understand. I'm kind of dumb, to be honest, but I think I have good intentions. I think it's going to be like her Insta Live content, which is kind of sleeper, to be honest. Has some good market takes, but is so fucking beyond me how he's completely different on taxes and education. Yeah. Also running for governor of California. Governor of California against a Democrat, too. So, she's live.
Hey, everybody. Can you hear me?
Wait, why is my quality so low?
Okay. Hello, everyone. How's it going? Good to see you. Can you hear me? Can you see me? My OBS looks fuzzy, so I don't know if I look fuzzy to you all. Let's see.
Do you think she'll grill him on his policy taxes? No, I don't think so.
Things are looking okay. I think it looks kind of fuzzy. Let me see if I can fix that. Anyways, thank you guys for hopping on. Let me see if I can fix this fuzzy situation here. Right? It's blurry, right?
This is meant to be purely educational.
This is what the
I
world
think
looks like
they're
to
just
me
going to have a
when I'm not wearing my
conversation.
glasses.
They're going to facilitate a conversation, like her and...
Oh, is it like focused? Oh, it's like set to focus way up here. How do I fix that? Thank you all. Thank you for for your patience as you deal with my...
You're a jerk. 1 second in and you're criticizing your streaming efforts? No, it's just fucking blurry because their autofocus is like focusing on something wrong. What she should do is the patented Hasanabi flick where you fucking flick the camera.
It's not fuzzy on Zoom. I was actually just on a community board call on Zoom. Let's see. How weird. I was just on a community board call on Zoom, and it was totally fine. So I think it's literally the OBS. So I'm gonna have to this is an ASMR channel now, guys. I'm gonna have to
That's
do
cool
it
that
all
she
the way
knows.
up here.
She knows the memes, bro. She watches, dude.
Okay. Dang. Okay, this camera's fuzzy. What do I do about this right now?
Yeah, she's gonna have the stock guy.
It's gonna drive me crazy unless I fix it.
She's gonna have the stock guy on. She's gonna have the CEO, billionaire Andy on.
Every single app.
And then some other people.
That I use. It's fine on every single other app, but.
Knows ASMR, knows the memes. Bro, she's still a fucking congressperson.
Oh, someone said it's focused on the mic. The camera.
You think normal 30-year-olds, or she's 31, you think normal 31-year-olds know what the fuck ASMR is? Don't be dumb.
Is it fine? Okay. I don't know. I'm getting some texts from friends, some saying that I look fine to them. Someone said it might be focused on the mic. If it's okay, people are saying it's okay, then I'm going to keep it.
If you're a 35-year-old and you're here, then you're not
seems like
a normal
it's
35-year-old. Wait,
fine.
what's up with the chat?
So I'm just going to.
Damn, look at all these Normans,
It's fine to
dude.
you all, then it's fine to me. Anyways, so thank you all for joining so much in our call. Let me see. Wait, is it still focused on this mic?
You're literally going to be like 35 in 2 years?
It is driving
Shut
me
up, bitch.
nuts
I'm
on
30
OBS. I'll say that.
in
Is
July.
it still not okay? Can you guys see this or no?
I'm here,
See?
and why is
Like,
Hassan stealing
look at
AOC
that.
content?
It's really, it focuses.
What do you want me to do? Not fucking watch
well
her
up here.
stream?
But it's not focusing out here.
If it gets sleeper, I'll move on. But it probably won't be. By virtue of her doing this, it's still going to be interesting.
It's a webcam. It's like that same webcam that everyone else uses. Okay. Yeah, everyone's saying it's kind of weird, right? Sorry, guys. How do I adjust this? Why is this not working? It works on camera. It works on Zoom.
Do you think
It
the
works
stock
on
guy is
everything
good? I know
else.
you guys had your issues earlier. No, I don't have an issue with the stock guy, bro. Like, I think he got mad at me because of my takes on Postmates,
Anyways.
but it was whatever.
So I'm sorry. I think this is going to be like a fuzzy. Is this going to be like a fuzzy video the whole time? No. But I don't know. Some people are saying that it's okay.
No, the 35-year-olds here are not like normie 35-year-olds, okay? Stop being so fucking 35 and getting offended that I said you're
Okay.
not a normie.
Anyways, people are
Like,
saying
you're
that
not
it's
normal.
fuzzy. I think it's just
There's
fuzzy
a
on my
there's
camera
a
for whatever reason.
being a normie or normal on the internet is not good, you fucking
Anyways,
35-year-old boomer.
really thrilled
And
to
I'm
be
a
doing
boomer
this
myself
Twitch with
at the
you
age of
all.
30. So chill.
Obviously, a lot's going on, right? We got a couple things going on, and a lot has been going on with a lot of
35-year-olds are
collisions
boomers and
online
normies.
and on the stock
If you're on
market,
Twitch, you're probably not.
GameStop, AMC, Robinhood, Reddit, politics, all of it has just been kind of colliding this week in a pretty remarkable unfolding of events and what we're seeing on the stock market. And I think that, someone's properties of camera source. Shoot, guys. I don't even know. I'm getting sorry, I'm getting some instructions here, but the instructions don't match with any of my settings. Hold on, guys. I may have to I will be right back. They're going to try to fix this. I will be right back.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't think she knows that she's still live. Don't pick your nose, AOC. Don't do it. Oh, no.
Anyways, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Let me see. Someone says it's an autofocus issue. Oh, look at you guys. You guys are so phenomenal, sending me screenshots of what options to deal with. Okay. OBS. Properties.
Live stream fails avoided. Oh, no.
Is it Logi Capture? No. Configure video. I'm working on it, guys.
I think the camera's zoomed in super, super hard.
Is this working? Oh, wait, no. Thank you guys for your patience in this craziness as I do this in person. Okay. All right. I think we're getting somewhere. Thank you all. Okay. Are we all set up? Yeah, we did it. Wow, guys. Okay. Shout out to at the Gun Run on Twitter for showing me how to do this correctly. We would not have a functioning live stream if you did not just actually text me a screenshot of what to click on. So, way better. Thank you so
Good
much.
shit.
Let's get to it. Hooray. I'm so stoked we fixed the camera issue. Only took a few minutes. Anyways, so I'm really excited to be doing this with you all.
Could have had a shout out if
really
you helped.
Appreciate it. Let's start back to the top.
Dude, I'm not trying to stress, dude. There's plenty of people working with her.
We basically saw a huge amount of developments and kind of a weird collision of all different social forces, factors, economic factors, inequality, kind of spontaneous digital.
See, Twitch chat is only toxic to you. Yeah, 100%.
Pairing that with what's happening in the stock market, colliding with the present fact, and increasingly the stock market is to everyday people feeling kind of less and less tethered to everyday life. And now just kind of everyday people starting to rush into these mass collective actions. So what does this mean? What is happening? Is there something deeper going on that you should know about? And what does this mean for our future? Both economically, both in terms of the stock market, but also in terms of digital organizing, in terms of internet communities, etc. And so I'm really excited. We've got a pretty good lineup stacked up, and of experts, people on the left, people who run major Twitch streams. And so I'm really stoked to be having a collective of different thoughts and everything that's coming on to talk about this. And so I'm really excited about that.
I'm saying fucking Pepela.
And I'm really excited to kind of chat with you all about what's going on. And also for folks who have no idea what is happening, or just know something crazy is happening with GameStop and everyday people and the stock market and hedge funds.
Shut up.
What does this even mean?
Yeah, not
I'm
me.
happy
Fuck
to
you.
say that we're bringing on some wonderful experts. And I'm just going to tweet.
What the fuck? What? Was that just me? Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh God! Oh, not like this. What is going on? Banned for ASMR. SEC took her down. No,
Alexis
she's back. She's back. She's back.
Goldstein,
It's back.
Who is a senior policy analyst
It's back.
at Americans for Financial Reform. She, really emerged and was a technologist, I believe, or rather, she's a senior policy analyst. She used to work on Wall Street, and she's a former Wall Street professional and now does a lot of financial reform advocacy. She's a senior policy analyst at Americans for Financial Reform, which is a nonpartisan coalition of over 200 organizations working for a safe and ethical financial system. She spent
It's not pre-recorded,
7 years
dumbass.
working on Wall Street, and
She just
subsequently
probably
became
didn't know that
involved
she
in the
F.
Occupy Wall Street protests back in 2011. And for people who may not know, you know, about 10 years ago now, there were these major, oh, is everyone okay? Is it working? Okay. I'm seeing some stuff on the chat. Can you guys see me? Can y'all see me? Okay, it says it's working. Oh, okay, it says you guys might have missed an introduction, so I'll just go through it really quickly. But yeah, so Alexis Goldstein, she is a senior policy analyst at Americans for Financial Reform. She spent 7 years on Wall Street, and then after those 7 years, became involved in the Occupy Wall Street protests about 10 years ago. And so that was, you know, for people who need a refresher, about 10 years ago, there were these huge, really inspiring protests that happened about 10 years ago that were just kind of this, I don't want to call them spontaneous because frankly, the organizing was a long time in the making, but the actual actions just started to really explode on a scale and a level that we hadn't seen in a long time. And in fact, this rhetoric around the 99% and the 1% in our economy that get all of the gains, that rhetoric actually comes directly from the Occupy Wall Street protests. And when I was just getting out of college, fun fact, I actually worked right off of Wall Street, not as a banker or anything like that, but I worked for a nonprofit, an educational nonprofit. And there was one of the alumni in the nonprofit that had donated, some office space. And so for a few months at that time, I was actually working in that neighborhood, and I would pass by Zuccotti Park and I would look at all of and kind of engage with all of these organizers there at the time. And it was pretty wild. And so a lot of people, you know, if you actually kind of look at the long tail of it, that language and really that class consciousness that was brought about by Occupy, I think really set the stage, particularly for millennials who are graduating college around that time, into just an economy that sucked in an unjust recovery. And while, you know, people worked and tried in Washington to have some kind of just recovery. I mean, this is around the time that my family, we almost lost our house. And so, you know, Occupy really brought this consciousness. And to me, you know, when Bernie was running in 2016, just 4 years after Occupy, it really didn't, you know, his campaign didn't come out of nowhere, right? I think it really built not just on his decades of experience and decades of organizers, but it also built on, you know, the freshness of Occupy and the clarity with which the protests brought to the national conversation. Anyways, so that's Alexis. I'm going to hop in and let's go talk to her now. All right, let's see. Are we here? Am I in it? All right, Alexis, are you there? Uh-oh. Perhaps my audio is not porting in. Hold on. Okay.
Oh, God, I hope they don't leak.
1 second.
Oh, what the fuck? Oh.
Thank you all. Let's see. Okay, I can hear you now. Let's see. Can you folks at home hear me? Let me see. I'm wondering if the folks in chat can hear me. I can hear you, Alexis. Alexis, okay, great. Awesome. Can the folks at home hear us? Oh, they say that they can't hear her. They can't hear you, Alexis. Let me see. Why
don't you host this? Why the fuck would I host this? I'm streaming. Like, why would I do that? What a fucking idiotic take.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if I restream it or not.
I don't know. Some random
The
people
entire
are
purpose of this
saying-
is to get as many eyeballs on this as possible.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can find you. Thank you all for your patience.
I have some of the most brain dead, delusional fucking weirdos in this chat sometimes. If you want to go and add to her view count or some shit, you can go watch it there. Why are you here? The only reason why you're here is because you just want to fucking complain like the little bitch that you are. Okay? Just go there if you want to watch it there.
I'm trying to see if I can add her. Let's see. Sorry about this. Oh boy.
When one of the most prominent leftist politicians comes on to my main platform where I do political commentary, of course I'm going to fucking watch it. It is completely ridiculous that I would not watch it. This is like the fucking gamer equivalent of watching the video game awards show. You know what I mean?
The Discord chat.
What up, Tarek?
Oh,
hey,
me.
What's good, brother?
Goodness me. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so for you all at home, Alexis
Unless you mean like host the event, in which case they didn't ask me. I could have very easily put this together for them, but they didn't ask me to do it. What do you want me to do? I wanted to help. I said I would help in any way I could. They literally very purposefully made the decision not to ask me for help, despite the fact that I have helped them in the other times that they've been on.
Let me see.
What do you want me to do? Of course they don't want your help.
Shoot.
Well, they got my mods.
Okay.
My moderators are helping. So I'm still helping in some way.
Okay, can you all hear me? Can you all hear it now? Oh, can you try again, Alexis? Can you all hear that?
Why don't you like answering random
you all
questions
at
in
home hear
chat?
that?
I always answer random questions in chat. Good luck finding another streamer that has 60 fucking 9,000 people in their chat that literally laser focuses on questions in the chat like I do. You will not find another one.
And
That's
then
not
the
even a
audio
flex.
input
It's how idiotic I am.
is everything that they're telling me that it should be. Oh no, sorry for you guys. Yeah, I don't.
It's not
All right,
even
Alexis,
a flex.
we're gonna pause you real quick until
It's
I get
literally
some
not even a
instructions
flex.
on
It's
how
just
to
stupidity.
fix this. 1 second.
My favorite sandwich
All right,
is a pig special
sorry,
from
everyone.
Sorrento's.
I don't know
It's a combination
what
of
the
number
deal
9 and
is.
number 14.
Everything was working before. As you guys know, we've played Among Us, and the chat's been fine. But it's just not working. Sorry, guys. No! Literally everything had been working before we set this up, and in true form, it's not working. We've done Discord before.
This is a huge
We've
part
done
of
all this stuff before.
It's a huge,
just
huge part of streaming is just like live
not
problem
turning out.
solving.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it sucks, but it's just the way it is. I want to see what her chat's saying. I mean, I love that. This is some real streamer shit.
Yeah, I don't know. Everything was working. It's not working now. So we're just gonna kind of do let's review what happened this week. So for those of you who don't know and aren't aware, there was all of this volatility around GameStop.
Thank you, All Jack Burton always says.
This week. And
For the 10 tier
a lot
ring
of
of
people
stuff.
may not be sure about what was actually going on. And it has a lot to do with a couple of key concepts known as shorting stocks on Wall Street. For those of you who don't know what hedge funds are, for those of you who may not have been on Reddit before, it's your first time, going on it or checking it out this week. Bless you if that's you. you are
I just
incredibly
gifted subs too. Thank you,
blessed
Warm Gatorade, for the gifted
to not
subs.
be exposed to some aspect and also just be like crazy on the internet. But for
I
those
just
of
wanted
us
to
who
see
are
your
crazy on the
chat.
internet,
Shut up.
really understand
Thank you, Sergeant
how
Pepper.
these community actions have really organized to create and manifest essentially on the stock market. I'm trying to see if, sorry guys, I'm trying to see again if they've been able to fix this issue.